With the release of its first season a few weeks ago, it didn't take long for Squid Game to take Netflix by storm. And this isn't at all surprising considering its incredible selection of cast members, coupled with one of the best twists since sliced bread. But what do we really know about the cast of the show? And why are they so hot right now? Well, for this and more, stay tuned to find out. Number 1, Lee Jung-jae. First up on our list is the leading man of the series, Lee Jung-jae, who reached new levels of popularity by portraying the role of Player 456, otherwise known as Seong Gi-hoon. For those of you who don't know, the 48-year-old actor was born in Seoul, South Korea back in December of 1972, which made him perfect for the selection of Gi-hoon, who grew up in a very similar circumstance. He isn't just known for rocking the screen as a survivor in a deadly tournament of children's games though. He's actually been involved in the film industry since the 90s with his breakthrough role in one of the highest grossing Korea films of 1998. We are of course referring to his portrayal of Woo in An Affair. The man has also been nominated for the prestigious Baeksang Arts Awards, which is essentially the South Korean Oscars. But what is so surprising about audience love for jung-jae is how he was able to take a deadbeat father and son like Gi-hoon and make him into a relatable hero. There's no doubt about it, the Korean icon has acting chops, and we can't wait to see what his character does next. Participate in the new games or take the organization down from the outside? Come on Netflix, announce a second season already. Number 2, Park Hae-soo. And then we have Park Hae-soo, who did brilliantly by bringing the villainous Cho Sang-woo to life. Funnily enough, not much is known about Hae-soo, even though he's been acting in the industry for quite some time now. What we do know is that he was born somewhere in South Korea on November 21st, 1981, making him just 39 years old at the moment. And when it comes to actors in the Squid Game universe that you might have seen before the franchise kicked off, Park Hae-soo is most certainly one of them. Before Squid Game, fans of the enigmatic actor could find him on the anthology miniseries Persona, where he portrayed the role of Baek Jong-yu. Another important series that made him popular is Prison Playbook, along with his time on the set of Time to Hunt, and as it turns out, he will be playing the charismatic role of Berlin in the Korean version of Money Heist, otherwise known as La Casa de Papel. Why do so many fans love Hae-soo though? Well, we think it has a lot to do with that final sacrifice he made towards the end of the season. Taking his own life to ensure Gi-hoon walked away with the prize money was a far cry from his villainous origins. Number 3, Hoyeon Jung. But by far, the most surprising performance from the first season of the show comes from Hoyeon Jung, who is now best known for her portrayal of everyone's favorite pickpocket, Kang Sae-byuk. Although her role would make you believe that Jung is a North Korean defect, the truth of the situation is that she was born in Seoul, South Korea, in June of 1994. This means that at 27 years old, she is one of the youngest cast members to make a name for herself through the release of this deadly series. And what is so surprising about her brilliant portrayal of Sae-byuk is the fact that this was the first time she had ever portrayed a character on screen. In fact, before she made a name for herself as an actress, Jung modeled on the reality TV show Korea's Next Top Model and finished as the runner-up in 2013. Success on the show saw her becoming a supermodel signed to brands such as Louis Vuitton, Dolce & Gabbana, and Marc Jacobs, to name just a few. But it was really her breakout role on Squid Game that captured our collective hearts, leading to the Korean model turned actress receiving around 13 million followers on Instagram. Suffice to say, she is one of the most beloved characters from the short runtime of the first season, and we all wish there was some way to bring her back for more. Anything to see that adorable smile one last time. Number 4, Young Soo-oh. Next on our list is the man behind the twist. We are of course referring to Young Soo-oh, who made us fall in love with the character of Oh Il-nam, by far the oldest actor on set, coming in at an incredible age of 76 years old. Very little is known about him, other than the fact that he prefers to keep his private information to himself. We don't even know whether he was born in North or South Korea. What we do know is that he can act. Unsurprisingly enough, Oh has spent the majority of his life behind the curtain, working as a theater actor, taking on roles as important characters like King Lear and Faust, allowed him to really become familiar with the classics, which led to him securing a role in the critically acclaimed film Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring. It was truly his appearance as Il-nam which caused us to fall in love with him though. The marble scene is still one of the most heartbreaking moments in Korean television, and this was all because of Oh's ability to portray portray a three-dimensional character suffering heavily from dementia. And considering how this beloved man ended up being the villain behind it all, makes us really appreciate how incredible Young-soo is at his job. We know he won't be returning to season 2 of Squid Game, but he has most certainly left his mark on us. Number 5, Hyo Sung-tae. Speaking of villains, we can't move on until we talk a little bit about Hyo Sung-tae, who fans of Squid Game might know better as Jang Deok-soo. Born in Busan, South Korea on October 20th, 1976, Sung-tae is just a few weeks away from turning 45, and it might surprise you to hear this, but he hasn't always been into acting. In fact, Sung-tae only stumbled into the industry when he was 35 years old. Now typecast as a bit of a villain, he has also become known as one of the greatest method actors in Korea, with one of his best roles still being considered to be that of Ha Il-soo in The Age of Shadows. According to reports, it was actually him who convinced Song Kang-ho to slap him for real in the action thriller, showing just how far he will go to get a scene to reflect the reality of the world. But as you can imagine, Sung-tae has never been more popular than he is right now, with his role as Deok-soo, making fans across the globe hate him with every ounce of themselves. The psychopathic gangster was, after all, far worse than any other character on the show. And since we all love to hate, it goes without saying that Sung-tae did his job. Number 6, Anupam Tripathi. Then we have Anupam Tripathi, who portrayed the role of Abdul Ali on the show and brought us all to tears by bringing the down-and-out migrant worker to life. Although he was born in New Delhi, India, back in November of 1988, the 32-year-old actor actually moved to South Korea so that he could study further at the Korea National University of Arts. This resulted in him appearing alongside other famous South Korean actors in a number of movies and series. But it wasn't until Squid Game that he was able to make a real name for himself in the industry. Although he has played the role of a migrant worker in the majority of his credits, it must be said that the writers of Squid Game gave him the opportunity to truly shine in this role. It's Ali that serves as a beaker of morality after all, not once falling by the wayside and betraying his friends. And the way he was finally taken out by Sang-woo still hurts us to this day. Since positivity is so appreciated in the art form, it's really no wonder that Tripathi is now beloved. Number 7, Joo Ryung Kim. Last but not least, we have Joo Ryung Kim, who went on to portray the crazy character of Han Min-yo in the first season of the show, otherwise known as Grandma. But the South Korean actress isn't as old as you might think, with the makeup department doing their best to make her appear as such. As it turns out, Kim is just 45 years old right now and always looks stunning in the pictures she posts on her official Instagram. Over the decades, she has been in the filming industry. She has featured in some of the most acclaimed Korean films, ranging from Memories of Murder to Texture of Skin. That being said, these roles were pretty small, but she certainly made a name for herself with her insane portrayal on Squid Game, making her one of the most loved characters on the show. And there you have it. Now you know a little bit about the cast of Squid Game and what's made them so popular. Who is your favorite cast member though? And what are you expecting from season 2? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below.